Negative 3x to the 1 plus 2 minus 4 over x. Does anyone want me to go over any of these three in more detail?
Bottom left.
Bottom left. Okay, so this guy. So the way I had you guys set these things up is to write everything in the numerator, every term, over the denominator. I think you only need to go back one page, Jordan. Okay, so you only have to go back one page. Just flip one page. So you're going to write it out like this, Ethan. Negative x squared over negative 2x minus 4x over negative 2x. And now we're just going to simplify each fraction. Negative 6 divided by negative 2 is positive 3. A negative divided by a negative is positive. 6 divided by 2, Liam, put your phone away, is 3. Liam, put your phone away. And you've got an x squared over an x. When there is no exponent written, if it's just an x, we put in the 1 there. And then when you're dividing the same letters, you subtract their exponents. 2 minus 1 is 1, and we don't need to write the 1. So it's going to be 3x. Now I've got a negative 4x divided by negative 2x, and negative divided by negative is positive. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and x divided by x cancels. That's how you do bottom left. That's all you gotta do. Okay. Then there was a whole bunch of practice here. I wanted you to do all of it. One page, like the second of questions I assigned had the answers. This one did not, so I'll give you these ones. Number 1 is equal to 4x. Number 2 equals 7x. 3 is just x. 4 is x plus 1. 5 is x minus 1. And 6 is negative x minus 2. Would anyone like me to go over any of those 6 questions? You think we're good? X is not a question. I assign numbers 1 through 6. You mean number 3. Okay. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And when there's a 1 out front, you don't need to write it. You only need to write a 1 if it's the only thing there. And then x squared over x, when you have exponents, when you have variables in the numerator and the denominator, and they're the same, make sure you've got exponents on both and do the division. It's always top minus bottom. 2 minus 1 is 1, so there is 1x left over. So you could write it as x to the 1, but when there is a 1 in the exponent, you don't have to write it. That's just x. That's number 3. The 2 divided by 2 canceled, leaving you with 1. And then I also wanted you to do this chunk. Dividing the following polynomials using any method. Here they are. They had answers on the bottom. There was a mistake in the answers that nobody asked me about. So I'm wondering if anyone found it. It's not 4, it was 5.
4.
The answer to 5 should not have been 3x plus 3. Nobody asked me about it. It should have been 9x plus 3. Did I get you, Dakota? Oh, you just didn't check? Okay. So if we didn't check, you can check the answers here together. Number 1 should have been 2n plus 4. Number 2 should have been 3g minus 4. Number 3 should have been 4x squared minus 3x plus 2. Number 4 should have been negative 3w squared minus 2w plus 4.
What the heck?
I know there's a lot going on there. Number 5 should have been 9x plus 3. Number 6 should have been 5s. I hate using s's as variables. Plus 3. Number 7 should have been m minus 4. And 8 should have been 1 minus 2a. Now with the answers there in front of you, are there any questions out of those 8 anyone would like to see me do? You want number 4? We can do number 4. Anybody else want a different question? Just 4? Okay, cool. Let's do 4. Okay, so the method is the same for all of these kinds of questions. When you have multiple terms in the numerator, you separate them out and put them all over the denominator. So I'm going to break this thing up as 27w squared over negative 9 plus 18w over negative 9 minus 36 over negative 9. And we're going to simplify each piece. We simplify them by dividing the numbers and the variables if we have them separately. So I've got a 27 divided by negative 9 here. We can do this division. 27 over negative 9 is negative 3. That's where the negative 3 came from. The w has nothing to divide by, so the w squared just stays w squared. The next piece is a plus 18w over negative 9. So this is the division we have to do. Positive 18 divided by negative 9 is negative 2. The w has nothing down there, so the w just stays w. And then the negative 36 over negative 9 is the last piece we have to deal with. You have to include whatever sign's out front. Negative 36 divided by negative 9. A negative divided by a negative is always going to be positive, and 36 divided by 9. You can use a calculator. You can use your multiplication tables. 36 over 9 is 4. You can use the multiplication tables you've memorized. 36 over 9 is 4. It's the danger of wearing sweatpants and not having a case on your phone. It was a bold move, by the way. The caseless phone. Walking around with a naked phone. It's terrifying. Okay. Well, the beauty of this, Ethan, is there
is no lesson. We're going to watch a movie.
You're not going to watch a movie. So, there is a ton of practice connected to this kind of stuff. There is a specific kind of question that I want to show you first. And to do that specific kind of question, and then we'll save some of these till tomorrow. So lots of practice here. We're going to hold off on that for the time being. We're going to jump to these guys. Okay.
Are we watching a movie?
We're not watching a movie. Not watching a movie. Okay.
Can I pay you to watch a movie? That's $20 for me,
No, I don't need your $20.
That's
I don't need your money.
25.
The danger of this is that I give you guys an overwhelming amount of
I'll
practice.
buy you the Xbox.
I don't want to give you an overwhelming amount of practice because I'm going to shut you all down. But here's what I'm going to give you.
$4. The Xbox Premium.
Here we go. I don't have an Xbox.
That's why I'll give you one of my
Okay.
sort of working Xbox.
So, yep.
Wait, everybody, they ready for me? It looks like the same.
Okay, so this is your guys' polynomial review. It goes over everything that we've covered. Well, your test is Thursday, and I want to get you guys practicing all this stuff between now and then. So I want to review some of the concepts that we've looked at before you guys launch into this thing. First lesson. The first thing we looked at when we were talking about polynomials was I had a bunch of language surrounding all of the pieces.
All of the letters.
Yeah.
Yeah. A.
So we were identifying variables, which you guys were able to do relatively easily. The variables are the letters. I had you guys identifying coefficients. What's a coefficient?
I was good.
Well, that's why we're
Is it the number thing up there?
No, I do not want you. No. Put that back on the desk. Yeah, put it on the desk. Bad boy. We are not destroying Liam's busted pencil. You have a task that I want you to do, and that's not it. Okay? What's coefficient? Let's go back and talk about the language.
The language.
What is a coefficient? A specific number. Which number?
The freaking exponent.
It's not an exponent. The number where? For example, I'll give you an example question. 3x squared plus 6xy.
Oh, the number that doesn't have a number.
7.
This is a 7. This is a 7.
Dakota. The coefficients are numbers in front of letters.
Coefficient was the number without a letter.
Nope.
Isn't that constant?
That's what, yeah, see, that was an constant.
They're so similar.
They are. A number with no letter. Okay? So the variables are the letters, the coefficients are the numbers in front of the letters. So in this case, our variables are what?
Horrible letters.
No, look at the question.
Oh.
I'm gesturing to one on the board, like down a white row.
5, 0,
7.
3, 2,
Liam, give me an actual answer or stop messing around.
0. You're pointing at nothing.
I'm holding this. That's the question, Liam. What are the variables?
X.
There's an X in there, yeah.
This X and Y.
X and Y, thank you, Ethan. My coefficients are the numbers in front of letters, so what are my numbers in front of letters here?
3
and 6. Both boxes. I should have changed this. Let's make it more interesting. What are my coefficients now? 3 and negative 6. Good, because you have to include the sign out front. What's my constant?
7.
7. Thank you. Fantastic. So the first thing we looked at was variables, coefficients, and constants. We put language to the different pieces of this. Then we talked about degree. We had degree twice. We talked about the degree of a term, and we talked about the degree of a polynomial. Boom, boom. What's the difference between these two? Who remembers? Amina and Abdullah, stop talking, please.
The constant has no letter.
No, we're talking about these two. We're on degree now. Dakota. The degree of a term is the almost sum of exponents on the variables in the term. So before we identify the degree, we should talk about what terms are. How do you know if you have a term? No. Hopefully we do more than yes.
You have equation, you have term.
How many terms are here?
3.
How do you know that? You're right. How do you know that?
I've done.
What mathematical operations separate out terms? Yeah, and? Yeah. Any addition and subtraction separate out terms. So I have 3 terms here. So to find the degree of a term, you sum up the exponents on the variables within that term. Here, this term has a degree of
2.
the sum of the exponents. 2, Ethan and Dakota. The degree here is
1.
also 2, because I want to
Oh,
add up.
2 letters.
I know, I want to add up the exponents on these letters.
I'm right now.
1 plus 1 is,
2.
and the degree of this term is 0.
I
0.
knew that.
So then, if I can identify the degree of each term, we can talk about the degree of the polynomial. The degree of the whole polynomial is just the largest degree of a term. So Ethan, this one has a degree 2, this one's got a degree 2, this one's got a degree of 0. So the biggest number there is
2.
so the whole polynomial is degree 2.
Look at that.
You guys identified terms, that's cool. We had names for different kinds of polynomials.
Oh,
You got some?
monomino.
Yeah.
Trinomino.
So we had polynomials. You betcha. We had monomials,
Triple nomino.
binomials,
And the triple nomino.
wrong,
Bicycle nomino.
and trinomials. Can you stop for a second?
Papa.
Thank you. Yes, it was. How do you know? See, the beauty of what you were saying is that you're actually referencing comments that I made while I was trying to teach you.
Yep.
So the memories are buried in there. How many terms does a binomial have?
3. No.
How many wheels does a bicycle have?
3.
Thank you,
2.
Dakota. 2. Binomial is a 2-term. A monomial is a 1. Come on the other way. 1 term. Mono means 1. And trinomial, yes, tri means 3.
And then poly is a 4 plus.
Poly is
A 4 plus.
0.
It's a 0. I knew it.
Okay, cool. Love that. What order should the polynomial be in?
Poly, mono, trabo.
That was the next step here. So I'm going to change this question.
Yes.
We're going to have, let's go, 4x minus 8x squared plus 7 minus 8y squared x. No, I don't want that. I want to change it. I want minus 9y squared x. There's 4 terms there. There's a polynomial. I want to put that thing in the right order. It is not, well, let's find it. Is it in the right order? How do we order polynomials?
By like the highest number, like if it has like the exponent thing, then that's like the highest number. Like if it has like a cube and then there's like a square, so like that would go first.
You bet. But that exponent is connected to which one of these concepts?
Go to 9 because it has 4. Then the 9 can agree.
Degree. Okay. So what's the degree of this term?
1.
What's the degree of that term? What's the degree of that term? What's the degree of this term? You sum up the exponents that are there. This one has 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 is 2. There's nothing written as a 1. You guys are identifying. So which of those terms would have to come first? The term with the degree of 3. So this whole thing with the sign is the thing that goes up front. So to correct the order of this thing, we're going to get negative 9 y squared x. What's going to come next?
The 8x squared.
Careful, you have to include the sign on front.
The negative 8x.
Negative 8x squared. What's next?
The 4x squared.
And it's
4x.
positive, yeah, and it's positive.
I do that.
Plus 4x, and the last one is?
Positive 7.
Okay, cool. We're ordering things. Some of us are following. Okay, order polynomials by degree. That's the whole front page. I think so too.
Wait, we just did the entire front page. So we
Up
write
here,
it
review.
down.
From there, we added and subtracted
Then, well, we added, then we subtracted, then we multiplied, then we divided. There were 4 more lessons. Harshness on, you with me? A lot of them. Okay. When we added polynomials, all we were doing was grouping like terms. What makes a term like?
Like, they have like same letter and number?
Same letter, same exponent, you betcha. Same letters with same exponents. Adding was easy, then we subtracted. How do you subtract?
Divided.
No. You don't subtract something like dividing. There was something tricky we had to do with subtracting.
Simplifying. And math.
Should I give you an example of a question before?
Yeah.
Stop. Yes, okay. Let's look at subtracting. If I give you something like this, x squared plus x plus 1, and I wanted to take away x 2x squared plus 7. How would I do that? What was special about having a subtraction?
You took the brackets away.
How do we take the brackets away from a subtraction question?
By rewriting the question.
Okay, so this is going to become x squared plus x plus 1. The brackets on the first one can fall away, but we have to do something before we can get rid of the
Make
second.
all those negatives.
We have to bring in the, actually, I'm going to change the question, I'm going to make that -7. We have to bring in the minus sign onto each term, right?
I'm going to forget all of this when I'm on this page. Like, I'm going to look at this page that I'm on right now, and go completely read this.
Well, that's why you're going to reference the board with your notes.
I'm
So we're
going
going to do a bunch
to
of practice, so it comes back. And then you group. Multiplying was distributing, dividing was what we just did, we broke up the terms. This is basically it. There were specific kinds of questions I could give you to kind of try and throw you off. When I was asking you for, when we're looking at adding, I could give you questions like, what's the perimeter of this shape? Because to find the perimeter, what do you do with the sides? Add them up. If I give you the perimeter, and I give you 3 of this, if I give you the perimeter and I give you some of the sides, how do you find the missing sides? You know what? I'm going to let you play. I'm going to leave that on the board. You've all got the reviews. God's here, Ms. Hess is here, I'm here. We can float around and help where needed. You have your task. If I have to start separating you out so that you work better, I will. Do not destroy things. Do not sell food.
Oh man!
If I see you on your phone, this is your one warning. If I see you on your phone, I will take the phone from you. I will send it. This is the warning. I will send it down to the office. If you want to know what the time is, ask an adult.
What if I just like take my phone out of my pocket and I go like that?
What's the time?
The time.
10:11.
Yeah, it's on his phone.
10:11. If I see you on your phone, I will take it from you.
The clock doesn't work.
No, the clock doesn't work.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, you have your task. Get to it. Let Margaret say go. We are starting to review
It's 1 hour behind.
for your test on Thursday. Let's go.
We should actually
Schedule it.
Mister.
A digital clock? Yes. I don't disagree. Okay. You hands to yourself. I know your brothers. Hope you love each other. Stop touching each other.
Because we were waiting on something.
Can you go and let's start at, were you here?
Okay. Harsh. It would make a lot of sense for you to take all that garbage with you while you're on the bathroom.
That's good.
Okay? Throw it away.
And
Okay. You all have the review.
Yeah, I think that was the last day. Yeah, so why don't you start with that? This will be helpful for myself.
Okay.
was gonna do it.
And then we divide
What are
there.
you five doing?
Using exponents. Remember,
And you're like,
when
yo, okay,
dividing
fuck you. Already?
same base, same letter,
Fine.
we subtract the base. Okay, Zach. Please. Well, that's something like this.
Did you pay me at all?
Yeah. They put it
So we get my
you divided
this
these
is a half.
by subtracting.
Are you serious? That one. You see that? Stop that right. Get me up.
Dividing bases.
Hey Jared, want to see a magic trick? Yeah. Jared, am I holding a pen?
Right, there is a one there. Minus one is one.
No, I actually am.
One. This one you don't have to write.
What's the use?
Nothing.
When you have
Are you
multiple
sure?
terms, you rewrite the question.
Whoa! I stole your pencil. Did I slip? Ready? I can make it.
Yes. Yeah, where's what?
Raj, can you wait?
I make your pencil
I have.
disappear.
Yeah, you did. And you didn't. Not right now. I already have two of them. Okay, Raj, when someone walks back into that door, and then you do 8.
Are you gonna blow up more strong star?
Square divided by x. And then positive 4 divided by negative 2.
But now it's time
Yes, Jared.
What? No, I didn't.
How do you multiply? What do you mean how do you multiply? You're not using your calculator for this.
I don't want to. Or pencil. I'll make it easier. Ready? It's gone. Where did it go? Yeah, it's gone.
Negative number multiplying a negative number with a negative number with a positive number. And the negative number with a positive number is negative.
By
Stop asking about people's intelligence.
I have an IQ too.
I don't care what it is. You're here with the math. Good.
Every math class I use has an IQ. I'm at one.
Necessitating stress. Yeah, she's using the grip tester. She's getting stressed. Raj, you're up. Judith, go to washroom. Judith, jump into the washroom. Back.
What?
Put your name on the more things. Zach, the next person walks back to you, you can go. And then when the person comes back in after Zach, Danny can go. We'll work on that. You know, I don't want to go more than 4 at a time. You guys have a task. If you do nothing.
Oh, I've already done something.
If you do nothing, you don't get to go.
For the top, like where it says 5x plus 3 is it 1?
I don't have it in front of me. What's it?
That's from
Jordan's. Okay, what's your question?
5x plus 3 is
Yep.
1.
The degree is 1, yes.
And then 5 at the bottom of that, below it, would that be 5?
It would not be 5.
Why not?
Because when there's no exponent written, the exponent is a
0.
So when you're looking for the degree of a polynomial, you have to add up.
Ow!
Garrett, compare it to yourself.
That hurt.
When you will have multiple exponents within a term, you have to add up those exponents together.
I thought that it would be like 5 because there's a 5 already written.
Yeah, but there's a 5 and a 2 and a 1 on the z.
Add those?
You have to add
So
up.
it'll be 12 then.
5 plus 2 is 7.
Plus 5 is 12.
Plus 1. Okay, bring it here. It's hard to talk to you about it.
But there's another 5.
Bring it here. I'll show you what I'm trying to say. Just this guy by himself. Add up the exponents of the x, y, and z. Each one has a 1. You have all 3 of those up. This one is a 5, a 2, and a 1 for the 8. And this one has a 5.
What was that?
Okay, so we have 5 plus 1 is 6.
6.
That's a 3, that's a 6, that's an 8. So then the whole polynomial should add 3 up.
Okay, add all of that together.
No, I don't add them all together. You pick one to add within the term. You pick the biggest number. So this is a 3,
Oh, the
8, that one's a 6. So that is 8 times the degree of 4. 1 to 8, degree of 8. Oh, right. First one. I gave you your 1 point. You pulled it out.
I needed. What was the emergency for Buckley? 4, 5. What was the
good use?
11, 12.
Did you answer your mother? You didn't answer your mother? Answer your mother, and then I will take the phone. You couldn't have texted her any of that at lunch?
Wait, did you get this whole back again?
No, keep going with us.
Are you nice today?
Yep, stay.
Oh.
Okay.
What time is it?
You don't need your phone. It's 10:21.
Okay.
Okay. So this is just multiplying polynomials. When you multiply polynomials together, all you do is you multiply the monomial by every term on the inside. Zach, you brought us back and go. Yeah. This would be where it is here. Is that an easier level? And then you go 2 times 2 is? Now here's the same idea. For this one, you're going to multiply this term here by this term here. You multiply the numbers, you multiply by this. Multiply them. Danny, you can go to the washroom. up here, a negative times a negative is a plus. So negative 2 times negative 2 is plus 4. And x times x? Yeah. Then you have a negative 2x times positive 2. Negative 2 times positive 2. Negative 4. And because there's no other x here, this x just comes along. Ethan? Jared? Answer yourself.
Yes.
Ethan, task that has been given to you is the task I want you to do. No, you're trying to convert my math into weird language I don't understand. Follow what I'm saying? This question is negative 3xy, then brackets, 9x,
Variable,
y,
variable, x, y,
any letters. It is not y plus 8
variable
squared by
the degree of one.
multiplied
Unless
this guy up front.
it already has two. No, it already has two. So that's fine. You on the and again 9.
Yeah.
And then you add all these up. 9. You all got yeah, add it. All in degree. Same here. Except you add another. Question 2, yeah. 5.
Then negative 9, negative 3 times 9 is negative 5.
Yeah.
Negative 3 times 9 is negative 5.
I mean, question B. Yeah.
X times x.
I was
X squared.
you have to add
Y has nothing to multiply with, so the y is nothing.
So now you add
Now we go to the next one. Negative 3 minus negative 4 is positive 12.
here.
X.
Go add 1 plus 1 is 1 is 3, right? And y. Plus y equals 8.
And the last
8
one,
plus 3
you have
is 10.
negative 3
10
times
plus 1
8.
is 11. 11 plus 1 is 12. 12 plus 5 equals
Negative
17.
24. And then you have x times x squared.
I'm not even speaking.
Y times y squared. See, that's it. No, don't worry about that. Do this first.
Yeah. Parents.
No, don't throw me.
Yeah, where's your parents' house?
No, up here.
I'll tell you my address right now.
No, don't do that. Stop, stop, Ethan. Not what I want you working on. Yes, son. Have you done anything today so far?
I'm going to
I will make a decision when Denny comes back. Okay, try these ones. Same idea. Wherever the single thing is,
Yo, he's cheating.
that you can multiply on. So if you got negative 2 up back, you're just going to instead of here, like we had up front on each. Now we're going to go out back. We're going to go with whoever has more done. You have
I have the entire first row done.
Take a look.
I have the first row done.
Still has more done than either of you, so he can go.
What's he was doing?
But Zach's also back, so one more of you can go.
Okay, I'll take her phone. I
You
didn't
have more
work.
than the son has, you can go.
I've been doing work. I've been
You
working.
had nothing to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I did. I said after Liam.
Okay, after one of Liam or Sale comes back, if you still have more work done than the son, then you can go. We're
So I
gonna
was
go
just writing down numbers.
all the people who wants to go to the bathroom. It's the most amount of correct it works out.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Negative 2 times 3 or
Yes, negative 2 times positive 3.
I actually moved on.
What's 2 times 3? And make it negative.
Yeah, do
It's
your work.
multiplied on the other. So there's just one each here. This one, the one thing is up front, it multiplies on the two things.
I'll put $20 in the
There's only one in each, so you multiply 12. Right?
Yeah, there's $20 right now.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
major.
good.
It's $4.
Good. There you go. Do not need my help anymore. Right, how you doing? Remember, you guys, you can use your notes while you're doing this. Go back and look at the lessons that we've done to help you remember how to do some of these things. This guy.
They're not like
Multiply out.
Yeah, I'll be sure.